Hey, Paul. So I have your 6138 here. It's pretty much exactly like what I said it was going to be, which is a classic Philippines rework. It is one of the things you said, well, I don't really care about that stuff as long as the movement is true, as in it's a correct 6138 movement. As I said to you in my correspondence, it could only be a 6138 movement in this case. There's no replacement movement or different movement be that would fit in this case. It just, yes, of course it's a 6138. That's the only thing that would fit in here. But that, it being a 6138 movement doesn't change the reality of what the watch is, which is trouble. Okay, right now it's at as much full power as I can get. The mainspring barely winds. It feels like there's something loose inside the movement. I don't know what. You can see that the numbers are just a mess. It's a filthy ragged signal, and it's my machine is not even really sure what it's hearing. I'm not getting any usable numbers at all. It's just a mess. Let's talk about the things. Yeah, this is a watch that was. It's a typical Philippines rework. It was designed to deceive. It was designed to bring in money, and then for the buyer to be able to go away. This was not a watch that was built to be wearable. It was a watch that was built out of junk parts in order to bring in money. The movement is extremely dirty. It is unserviced. The person who did this work used whatever they had to hand. Both the screws in the winding bridge are wrong. That's the wrong screw. That's the wrong screw. This is like this mash of like dirty old dried grease. Under magnification, there's a chunk of a screwdriver blade stuck in the slot right here, which is no good. This is the crown. It is, or the stem rather. This is completely the wrong stem. It's an aftermarket crown for a 6139. See how it's got the smooth dish? This is one of the Chinese crowns. You'll notice, look, it's wobbling around because it's bent. They didn't have a correct stem, so they used a short stem from something else and a stem extender. So really typical for, and notice that there's no seal. Really typical for a Philippines rework, that they'll just use whatever they have at hand to make the watch look pretty and sort of work long enough to be able to sell. And that's what we've got here. Of course, it's an aftermarket dial. The case has been seriously polished. These might be original hands. I think that's an original sweep hand, but the original sweep hand and these hour and minute hands, which might be original, they were probably incredibly damaged because whoever it was, they just painted over the top of them. These have been really badly restored. On the flip side, these sub-register hands actually look good. In fact, they look like they might be new. But they're either really good aftermarkets that I haven't run into before, or they could be stock originals. But the rest of the watches, honestly, this is not a watch that you want to put any work or time or money into. I won't work on watches like this because it's not remunerative. They take too much time to bring back. They need too many parts. This is, to me, a parts watch. As I said to you in our correspondence, I don't work on watches like this. So I don't really know what other things to offer you. Yes, it's an original 6138 movement, but it's a parts watch. I'd be curious to rip it apart, just to see how they did what they did. But I mean, I don't service watches like this. And my advice to you is the advice that I gave you when we were talking, which is that you should return this watch to the seller and invest this money into a better example. This is just, it's a classic Philippines rework with really bad cosmetic work done with really just jury-rigged repairs around an unserviced movement, all designed to create a watch that would sell just to bring in money. This is not a watch. This is an assemblage of abused parts, designed to get money out of buyers. So that's my advice. Take this watch, return it to the seller, take that money, look for a better example. You're going to pay a lot more for a good one of these. But if you really want one, that's what you're going to have to do. That's my recommendation. Okay, thanks, Paul.